Welcome to our channel. It's so lovely to have you here with us today.
For more than 2 decades, one company controlled Cameroon's most vital transport artery, the railway. A company tied to one of France's most powerful business empires. CamRail was supposed to modernize the nation's rail system, make it safer, faster, more efficient, but instead, it became a symbol of neglect, systemic failure, and a privatization gone tragically wrong. And then, on October 21st, 2016, everything exploded. Tonight, we investigate the hidden story behind CamRail, the foreign empire behind it, the warnings ignored, the victims silenced, and the tragedy that changed Cameroon forever. This is the full truth about Eséka. In 1999, Cameroon privatized its national railway corporation, Regifercam. On paper, this was a historic breakthrough. But behind the closed doors of the negotiations, something else was happening. A select group of foreign companies were invited to bid. Few met the criteria, and the eventual winner, CamRail, was majority owned by the Bolloré Group, a French corporate giant with deep roots in Africa. Many Cameroonians would later ask, did the best company win or the most connected one? Documents leaked years later revealed several troubling facts. Bolloré's financial offer was not the highest. The concession granted them unusually favorable terms, including weak obligations for infrastructure investment. Government oversight mechanisms were minimal, almost symbolic. Safety modernization deadlines were allowed to be revised or postponed, and key clauses that should have protected the public were removed. Privatization, economists say, works only when accountability is strong. But this agreement left the Cameroonian state with little power and the concessionaire with total control. One retired ministry official, speaking anonymously, told BBC Africa Eye, "We didn't privatize, we surrendered." The tracks CamRail inherited were old, some dating back to the colonial era. But instead of modernization, something else happened. Maintenance budgets dropped, inspections were delayed, broken locomotives stayed in service, old wagons received only cosmetic repairs. Former technicians describe a pattern: parts cannibalized from abandoned trains, welding jobs done with outdated equipment, passenger cars exceeding service life, failures reported but not fixed, locomotives operating with known brake issues. A former CamRail engineer said, "We were patching a dying machine with tape. We knew the system would one day collapse." Meanwhile, freight operations, especially cargo to and from the Douala port, thrived. Activists accused CamRail of prioritizing cargo over passengers because freight contracts were more profitable. They involved foreign operators and large exporters. Losses from passenger accidents hurt only the public, not shareholders. This imbalance created a 2-speed railway. Freight trains repaired first, funded first, prioritized, passenger trains aging, neglected, overloaded. A system designed for profit, not passengers. On October 21st, 2016, heavy rains destroyed the main Yaoundé-Douala road. Thousands suddenly stranded turned to the railway. That morning, CamRail ordered the addition of extra passenger wagons, pushing the train far beyond its safe capacity. Yet behind the scenes, frightening facts would later emerge. Several wagons added that morning were not certified for long-distance travel. The train's primary braking system had experienced repeated failures days earlier. Technicians had recommended urgent repairs, but those repairs were postponed. Some drivers had complained about handling issues on the very same curves, and internal emails showed warnings ignored. As train 152 approached the descent toward Eséka, a section notorious for sharp turns and steep gradients, the brakes failed. The wagons swayed violently. Metal screamed. The train derailed. 7 cars went off the tracks. Some overturned completely, bodies crushed, dozens trapped inside. The nation froze. In the hours after the disaster, the first statements avoided responsibility. CamRail pointed to the unexpected collapse of the highway, passenger pressure, unpredictable mechanical failure, and later, alleged driver error. But independent investigators and survivors told another story, one of predictable, preventable catastrophe. Government investigators found excessive speed on a dangerous curve, unauthorized wagons, a braking system in poor condition, improper maintenance procedures, and violations of safety limits. Yet despite this evidence, no major executive was prosecuted, no high-level resignations, and compensation disputes dragged on for years. Critics argued that CamRail's parent group, one of France's most powerful conglomerates, held significant political influence. Some activists called the tragedy a collision between neo-colonial economics and human lives. Behind every statistic is a life. The official death count was 79. Survivors and local residents insist the true number was much higher. Listen to their stories. Marie was traveling with her two daughters, ages 7 and 11. They were excited to visit their grandmother. Marie survived. Her children did not. She said, "They told us there is space, enter, enter." The train was full. People were standing. My girls were holding my hands. After the crash, my hands were empty. She searched for hours and found them in a makeshift morgue. Marie still carries their school notebooks. Sometimes, she says, she reads the last pages before she sleeps. Lucas was a student returning to Yaoundé for university. When the train derailed, metal crushed his leg. Fuel spilled and a fire started. Lucas pulled himself out using his elbows, dragging through broken glass. He lost his leg the next day. He says, "They say it was an accident, but an accident is sudden. This was years of neglect, years of people looking away." When the crash happened, villagers rushed barefoot to save strangers. They pulled survivors from broken wagons, used machetes to cut metal, and used shirts to stop bleeding. One volunteer said, "We had no tools, no medical kits, no ambulances, but we could not leave them to die." To this day, many say they never received recognition, not even a letter. Many victims were buried without identification. Others were never found. Families still visit Eséka, placing flowers near the tracks. One father told us, "My son left that morning to go back to school. He never arrived. They never found him. I still hear the sound of trains and imagine he is knocking, coming home." This tragedy is not only numbers. It is pain, scars, empty chairs, orphans and survivors with trauma that will never heal. To understand CamRail, you must understand the system behind it. For decades, the Bolloré Group secured control of major ports, freight corridors, rail networks, logistics chains, customs handling, and container transport across Africa. In Cameroon, critics describe this influence as too big to challenge, too powerful to question. Civil society groups argued that Cameroon's transport lifelines were outsourced, that safety took a backseat to profit, that public oversight was systematically weakened, and that after Eséka, political pressure protected the concessionaire. This is not just a railway problem. It is a question of sovereignty. Who controls a nation's arteries? Who profits when things go right? And who suffers when things go wrong? The answer, as Eséka shows, is not equal. 7 years after Eséka, the tracks still carry trains. People still travel. Life goes on. But the wounds remain open. Families still wait for compensation. Survivors still live with trauma. And many fear that without reform, another tragedy could happen. Eséka was not only a train crash. It was a warning about foreign control, a warning about weak oversight, a warning about what happens when human lives become secondary to profit. And until justice is done, until the system changes, the ghosts of Eséka will continue to haunt Cameroon's rails. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you love learning about Cameroon and its economy, you're in the right place. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, because today we're diving deep. Have you ever wondered what really happened to some of Cameroon's most iconic companies? I'm talking about giants like Wada, Soda Kotan, and even Simon Cam. These names were once household staples. But what's their story now? We're going to explore their rise, their challenges, and their current status. And stick around, because in our very next video, I'll be giving you an exclusive insider's look into the operations at the Douala port. You won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.